I don't want this to be over. Delicious in Dungeon, episode 24, the final episode of the season. And then who knows how long until we get more episodes. It's gonna get a season 2. It's gotta. Unless Trigger, like, are really adamant on, have they done season 2s for anything? I want to look this up. Hold on. I don't think I can see an example of them having a season 2. Although they are, I went onto their Wikipedia page to see what, like, you know, if there was any season 2s that I wasn't thinking of. And it does say Delicious in Dungeon second season there to be announced, director and episodes and all that. But yeah, so I think they've been confirmed for a second season, which is great. But it is kind of crazy that, like, Delicious in Dungeon, they're, you know, it's it's getting a second season. Although, to be fair, Trigger also don't do that many adaptations as well. So this is, like, kind of, you know, very fresh ground for them in general. So yeah, it's exciting letting them cook for a little cooking pun in there. But it's very sad knowing that season 1's ending today. I wish they could just do the entire series back to back to back, but it doesn't work like that. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do without this show, man. Like 24 weeks of it, and it just flew by. Absolutely incredible. Every single episode has been amazing, and I kind of have no doubt that this episode is gonna be great as well. Man, yeah, it's gonna be so sad, but it's all right. We're gonna fight through it, and we're gonna see what this final episode has to offer for us. If this is the only series of mine that you watch on this channel, that's very sad that I might be saying goodbye to you. But I do hope, other than, you know, waiting around for season 2 of Delicious in Dungeon to come out, you can go check out some of the other videos on this channel and see if there's other series of mine that you enjoy and that you can jump into as well. Because I love to keep some of you guys around. I love the comments that I've had on these videos, and if there's other stuff that I make that you enjoy, that would make me very happy. As recommendations, you know, if you want to go check out my Legend of Korra series, I did the entire Legend of Korra series, and people tended to love that reaction. I've done a whole ton of stuff, but I also do One Piece reactions on my Gen Watches One Piece channel. So if you like that, go check it out. We're in the middle of the Marineford arc, which is one of the most crazy, insane arcs of a story that I've seen in a long time. So go check that out. But let's jump into Delicious in Dungeon. Also, Patreon account where you can get the full-length reaction if you want to watch the entire episode from start to finish. For all of this season, the full-length versions are on my Patreon account in the description below, so go check that out. But without further ado, let's jump into Delicious in Dungeon, the final episode of Season 1, Episode 24. I honestly forgot where we were in the story. I forgot that they were all this.
Sure, whatever you say, Grandpa.
What's the gap between our actual age and the age we look? Laios, how old are you?
So if I'm 26 as a tall man, I'd be 65 as a dwarf.
If our appearance adjusts our age relative to what race we are, will we age at the rate we did before we transformed? Or will that change based on our new bodies?
Good question.
Hey, Marcille, if you think that doesn't affect you, you're wrong. Since if it's the latter, you'll only live till about 50 years old. In less than 40 years, you're gonna get all old and wrinkly and then die.
That's shocking for an elf.
There are some who live that long.
But it's pretty rare.
Aww.
Means the change is only temporary, or has some kind of awful side effect.
Side effects, huh? Possibly.
It could be the latter.
I was honestly thinking more in regards to Falin.
What about her?
Oh.
Now, this is all hypothetical, and we defeated the Mad Mage.
I've learned my lesson.
Falin regains her sanity.
What was I just doing?
Falin's back!
But she's
We
still
returned to the surface.
that.
Man, that was really rough, wasn't it?
Scares people. In that case, having a dragon's lower half would be a problem.
So if you use the changelings.
I thought about hiding that part by putting her in a hole. However, survive in a human town with how thin the mana is.
Oh.
Unless we use those mushrooms.
Yeah.
With the chip into another type of dragon that's smaller. That way, Falin could live in town after all.
It's still gonna be a dragon.
You're so stupidly optimistic.
I won't deny wanting to change into something else too. All men don't have any kind of special trait, which makes us plain.
Do you hear something strange? From what I can tell, it actually sounds like it's getting closer.
Oh.
This is bad. The gargoyles found us!
Oh shit.
You idiot! Did you really not shut the door all the way? We need to
I forgot about the gargoyles.
I told you! They're right there!
Oh shit! Oh! Took it on the forehead. Oh no, they've got the sword. Oh, poor Marcille.
Stand around people's legs.
You say that, but...
You're clumsy no matter what body you're in, huh? This way!
Oh shit!
Did you cast something?
Are you too hurt?
No, we're fine. It went right between our arms.
Good.
Holding the little
Grabbing Kensuke for
Marcille.
me?
Sure. Has it always looked like
What
this?
the heck?
Smoke we saw?
Was changeling?
Changeling spores?
Yeah.
But hang on, there wasn't
Is
a
it
mushroom
underneath?
ring anywhere near here.
Our arms were a ring when it passed through them.
What?
Wait,
What? You can make a changeling ring if you are affected by a changeling, I guess?
you think before you open your mouth for one. Just trust me, okay?
Oh wait, they're making a circle like in the...
Now, is this it?
We're gonna have the
Like in the
gargoyle pass through
opening.
our arms.
All right, it's time.
The wall's in that direction. Come this way.
Work together, guys.
Oh.
Oh! The noise. Okay,
It can't
that's good.
fly away anymore.
Come on!
We did it. Where'd it go?
What is it?
Look!
What did it turn into?
This is the
What?
I'm living things transform faster.
Laios!
Oh shit.
You okay?
What?
Marcille,
Yeah.
What if we...
it should work.
Let's do it.
Everyone's just like carrying her around.
Bring ourselves closer to it. Keep in rhythm so we run in sync. Let's go. 1,
Oh, they all look so cool.
1, 2.
Oh my god, look at the animation style.
Do this.
Ready? Ready for what?
And take to the sky, Marcille.
Oh gosh. She hates this. Nice. What the fuck? Oh my god.
But if you wash off the spores stuck to your body, you'll go back to normal.
Oh.
Can you please not?
They get shunned by their kind, then they die, and eventually become new changelings.
Huh.
Maybe it's a bit of a stretch to think the mushrooms were the cause of this. Will washing you change you back?
Well, theoretically, right?
Nah, I'm just kind of sick of them.
Sick of them?
Wish I had been free.
Let's cook them another way.
All right.
Heat
Get
some
fancy.
oil in a frying pan in. Oh, hot! When golden brown, remove the dumplings and blot the excess oil to make sure she eats her fill. What do you think?
You just fried them.
Would you not?
What? What? Whoa!
Oh, it changed its
You can fucking use
The mouth
changeling.
does indeed act as a changeling.
Changelings
And
on.
there are many different kinds of
Oh my
dumplings in the world.
gosh.
Mushrooms start sprouting inside our stomachs.
Good question.
That didn't happen when we ate the hippogriff meat. Now then, Izutsumi, help me set the dish well. It's ready.
Interesting.
There's barrowmess meat in this one.
Oh, lamb meat, huh?
Cool.
No way, I got cheese.
It's like a lucky dip.
I can't figure out the meat in mine.
Oh no. That's scary.
Neat! My body is finally back to normal.
Yay.
Actually, let's change into lighter clothing first. It's pretty warm on this floor.
Aw.
Didn't you make some before using the red dragon meat?
I did. But sadly, I lost all
Yep,
that.
it all went back into the dragon.
No.
Why are you covering your sword with a cloth?
What cloth?
Let me see it, Laios.
You did.
You're too smart for your own good, Marcille.
So what should we do with them? My vote
He's
is that we
keeping the
form a circle
changeling
and
circle around it.
go immediately.
Oh, he wanted to keep the cool sword. It was so
Here's a
cool.
strange building, but there's nowhere else to go.
What? You mean this thing?
Marcille is so cute. Look at her hair now.
Bet it would sell pretty well.
Off you go. Man, there's some cool animation styles in this episode.
You draw the magic circle?
Think so. But I don't know if it's working right or not.
Let's see. Oh,
It's a little bit slow, but it does seem to be heating.
So I've
it's
been
slowly
meaning to ask.
working.
So I went to school, then joined the military.
Oh,
Unfortunately, I didn't fit in there either. I did chores for them as we gradually traveled south.
damn. This is
Val
quite the
was living at
backstory.
magic school in the area. She insisted on following me. The
So
two of us
cute.
arrived at this island together. Us taking those jobs is what led to us entering this dungeon.
This is recruiting. This is a cute and simple
That's
backstory.
our story.
Well, that without a single plan. Your whole thing makes sense.
This
but why did
music is
Falin tag along?
gorgeous.
I got sick of living in that environment, so I left the village a year before she did. Until
Oh,
magic school. No. Until she met Marcille.
her just eating
She
alone.
probably ate her meals alone.
Oh,
When I think about it, it hurts my heart.
thank God for Marcille.
So it's quite possible she didn't let it bother her. Regardless, I decided
Oh,
I'd
and
never
he's
leave
it to
Falin
me.
behind again.
Cute. Oh, you get waking up by Marcille crying.
What is it doing? She would always pick up weird things and bring them to me.
Oh,
Like strange smelling fruits. I never knew why she chose me specifically.
I bet she wanted to eat that stuff with you.
oh. Yes, comfort her, izutsumi. Oh. Good job, izutsumi. She's trying.
Eat another good meal with her again.
I'm sure we will soon.
And now Marcel's sleeping on
I'm
izutsumi.
Falin is
Oh
most
my
like
God.
bacon and eggs, right? But I imagine that would probably cause the egg portion of it to fall apart.
That does make
Because of that,
sense.
in Izutsumi's particular case,
If we manage to cut off her lower half, then we'll be able to turn Falin into
I don't
Can't
know.
possibly be that simple.
however, there were parts of the meat that didn't return to the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And that was everything we all ate for dinner that night.
True.
So basically, if we ate the entire dragon, isn't it assumed that it would drive its soul away? from
What
Falin?
the fuck? Eat the dragon! That's the plan!
I thought you would be opposed to that stuff.
And it makes a lot of
Get me wrong,
sense.
I'm still against reviving people. I'd be more than happy to help you out with that.
Eating the entire dragon.
That's so interesting.
Sorry. How many servings do you think that is? Because we need to know! What we've come up with so far. Do you have any better ideas? You have to eat it first. Of course. Why didn't I think of that before?
This is
We've been doing
genius.
exactly that this whole time. 1 kilogram a day. And it'd take over 10 years to finish the whole
What?
thing.
Really?
You really
Jeez.
think
The orcs seem like they'd eat a lot, so that's promising. Golden Castle residents. They won't
Yeah.
have too much of an appetite,
But those-
but
they
have
can
the numbers
eat.
and livestock to make up for it. Namari and Shuro's parties would likely join if
Yeah.
we appealed to their emotions. Oh, and there's Kabru too.
Possibly. I'm not sure. He's up in the air.
That's plenty.
1. Release the winged lion from the depths of this dungeon.
Uh huh.
I suddenly have hope this is gonna work.
It's a
Sounds like it's gonna be
genuinely good
We're
plan.
not gonna find him.
To be honest, I don't think these are the kind of changes the folks behind us will like.
Oh shit! All the elves. Oh, Falin.
Don't you dare consume that!
And cooked up some steaks. Would that be a good garnish for them? Or maybe a stew would be better. We could make stock from the book.
Now's not really the time to be crafting a Falin menu.
Why not? You got plenty of
So
time.
hungry.
Dungeon food. To eat or
Oh
be
my
eaten.
god! Don't
There
end
is
yet.
no hierarchy here.
I need
Only
more.
the dungeon food. Delicious,
Delicious in dungeon. To be continued. Give me this amazing ending one more time. I'm so sad this is over. For now. One more season left, luckily, whenever that comes out. But man, I hope it comes out soon enough, you know, because oh, this was a special fucking show. This was so special. Just incredible from start to finish. I want to talk about the episode though. Well, I this is kind of talking about the episode, kind of talking about the series, because like, look, I feel like in every single discussion, I'm always praising the writer. And there's some shows where I'll be praising like sort of some stuff that happens in the show, or I'll say, oh, this part was really cool or whatever. But there are only a few shows that I like single out the writer and just say like, the writer of this is fucking fantastic, right? There's a few shows that I do that. And even though I think the writer of a lot of stuff is fantastic, there's some where like I feel like I can feel their identity coming through in the series so much, and I'm blown away by it, you know? And I would say like One Piece is one that I do it for a lot, like Oda, the writer of One Piece. You can feel his identity coming through the series quite a lot. In this show, Ryoko something? I need to... Is it Ryoko Kui? Yeah, Ryoko Kui is just phenomenal. Absolutely incredible. This series is so incredibly done with the fucking character work and the character designs and the world building and the way it invokes other fantasy media and uses the audience's knowledge of that fantasy media to its advantage. All of that stuff is so incredible. And something that I think is really, really cool is the way she is telling a story and keeping the themes of the story so consistent throughout the entire story while changing the tone. That's gotta be really difficult to do. To start a show and be like, here's the gimmick of the show. It's going through a dungeon. It's a dungeon crawling anime, but they're cooking monsters in the dungeon. And the gimmick is that it's about cooking monsters and stuff. That's great enough on its own. That's a good idea for a series. But then to have this really engaging story about trying to get Falin back turn into, oh, she's fucking turned into a dragon, half dragon, which then turns into, by the end of season 1, oh, our plan is to eat the dragon, which we've been training the entire season for. Like, it's so brilliant. So yeah, this idea that like the way to save Falin would be to actually eat the dragon parts of her body in its entirety is so clever. It's blown me away. It is absolutely like destroyed my expectations, and I'm so shocked by it. It's such an incredible writing choice because, as I said, it keeps the theme so consistent, but it's so funny. It's such a funny idea, but the way they explain it there, it makes so much sense. Like, it fits in perfectly with the rules of the universe that they've set out. I'm just so shocked by it. you know? Like, she's consistently impressed me every single episode with how clever she is with certain things. And this episode has done like one final mind-blowing writing moment for me. So it's going to be tough for me to get over that. Oh, man. And then the emotion in this episode just of like talking about Falin and how she was, you know, she was kind of shunned a lot as a child and it kind of sucked for her. And then just being like, then like, what's his name? Laios saying that he left like a year early, and then just like cutting to her just eating soup alone is so sad. And then on top of that saying like, well then, but then after that she had Marcille, and Marcille crying, like realizing just how important that all was to her, you know, is, I mean, it's so great. It's so good. I can't see anything. My entire vision is blurry right now. It's just, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I care about these characters so much. I love them. I also have to mention, since this is, you know, the last time we're going to be doing it for a while, the dub of this show is perfect. Perfect. I know, you know, whenever I do dubs, I always get, you know, some comments. Like, generally I'll get a couple more comments than I did in this series about, like, why are you doing dub? You should be watching it in sub. Generally I'll get a little bit more than that. But like, and that's, you know, that's just kind of par for the course. Like, people tell me that sort of stuff a lot. Generally, I either ignore that or I just say to them like, no, I prefer dub. In this instance, I prefer the dub. There are certainly shows where I prefer the sub of it. And as I've said 100,000 times on this channel, I go back and forth on my channel. I just basically decide on a show-by-show basis on if I want to do the dub or the sub, based on a variety of factors, and it's completely my choice. And the wonderful thing is, in the modern day, dubs and subs tend to both be awesome, and you'll get a great experience either way. There'll be a different experience slightly, but there'll be a great experience either way. And so it is partially down to personal preference and partially down to the, you know, how the mood is striking you and how you do things. But with this show, I haven't gotten quite as many comments about that, because people do tend to love this dub. And it's gotten a lot of praise, and I mean, fucking, it should. Like, the cast, all of the main cast, but also all of the side cast, but like, just focusing on the main cast, are so perfect and incredible. I'm obviously a huge Emily Rudd fan. If you go back to my first episode reaction, when I think I watched the entire first episode without knowing it was her, then saw in the credits that it was her, and you see in my discussion, I go crazy over it because I love her. Obviously, I only know her from the One Piece live action before this. Like, that was the only thing I knew her from. But, you know, I'd watched, you know, interviews with her, and I had, like, read a lot of the stuff she said, and I follow her on Twitter and stuff like that, just because I love everything about her. She's so good, and she did an amazing job as Marcille. But, you know, on top of that, I mean, I would say also Damien, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but did such a great job as Laios. Like, he was someone that, like, I probably knew the least about in the main cast. I know for some people they know him from Smosh, but I don't watch Smosh personally, except for some TikTok clips sometimes that pop up. But, you know, he did an excellent job. Casey Mongillo did amazing. Sungwon Cho, I knew he would do great, but he actually kind of blew me away in several bits as well. Just everyone. And then, I mean, Laura Stahl, very, very late entry into the series, but like, fantastic as izutsumi. Yeah, it's like, I love this dub so very much. I really like it. And, you know, sometimes I will also get comments that are like, oh, you know, the dub is okay, or the dub's, you know, surprisingly good, but the sub blows it out of the water or whatever. And I mean, like, you can't really argue with those people, but I a lot of the time I just disagree. Like a lot of the dubs that I watch them because for me the dub is way more enjoyable and really, really amazing and like just as incredible as the sub. But I also connect with it more. So you know, I get it. A lot of people watch sub first, and that's what they get used to, and they and there's, you know, a lot of reasons. People are quite fond of Japanese voice acting and the stylings of Japanese voice acting, and that's great. I love it too. But like when there's a really, really good dub like this, I think there's kind of nothing else like it in anime to me. Like it hits hard. So I just wanted to praise that for a good period of this discussion, because it's the last video of the season, and I think it deserves it. I think we ought to make sure that the really, really good dubs get this sort of praise. Hopefully, a bigger audience, and that the companies do this sort of stuff, because it was also same day dub, which that's, you know, if I have my problems with Netflix. I definitely have my problems with Netflix, but this show, they did it kind of perfectly. Same day release as Japan and same day dubs, and such an incredible dub as well. I mean, this show they handled perfectly. I think they've mishandled stuff like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure in the past, and I don't like the Netflix binge release model of shows. So shows like the One Piece live action, I wish they didn't all come out at once, you know. And other such shows like that, I wish they didn't drop them all at once, because I have many thoughts about that, and I think it completely ruins momentum and hype and discussion, and it's basically just bad for the show in every way possible. The only advantage of it is that people who like to binge will be able to watch it all at once, which in my mind is not really an advantage. So yeah, I want to give credit where it's due, because Delicious in Dungeon, they handled it perfectly, absolutely perfectly. But yeah, this episode was so cool. I loved the animation of this episode. I don't know if there was like a particularly good director of this episode, but it felt like there was some really nice cuts of animation, but also like it was sort of consistently really nice. And there were parts where I was watching and I was like, this actually feels quite cinematic, like it's a film, especially towards the end of the episode. But I think they were trying to animate it particularly with a particular amount of passion, because it was the final episode of the season. But it just felt like, you know, the characters weren't doing much, but there was something about it that I felt it felt very special and nice and well done. But there was also just like some really cool animation choices, like when they were doing the changeling circle and their art style kind of changed. I thought it was very cool. Speaking of that idea of the changing circle, everyone holding hands and they create a changeling circle, is such a cool idea. I really like that. That's super clever. Look, I'm looking at my my notes and realizing there's not really much else I wanted to talk about. But as soon as I end this video, it's done, you know? So I don't want to, but I'm gonna have to end the video. That's Delicious in Dungeon, Season 1, Episode 24. Thank you all so much for joining me for this adventure. You got to join me throughout so many laughs and tears and incredible character moments and me gushing and gushing and gushing over this show. So thank you for joining me. If you liked my reactions, make sure to support the video and the channel. I'm a small channel and I want to be able to keep doing these videos, but the only way I can really is if people support the videos. So please make sure to do that. And if you like my reactions, immediately as soon as this video is done, go check out the rest of my channel and see if there's other stuff that you like. If you watch stuff of mine immediately after this video, I think it helps. I think there's like a session time algorithm thing, and so, you know, if you marathon some of my videos, it'll help. But yeah, just, you know, do what you can. But thank you so much for joining me for this amazing adventure. And I hope to see you soon. So thanks, and what the worst ending of a series ever. Goodbye.